you're the one, it's in your hands. And so to be able to get the picture and to be able to breathe, you always see everybody taking a deep breath. That tells you how nervous people are when they're taking a penalty kick in a Champions League final. So yeah, it comes down to being able to see the picture and not getting yourself, you know, you're a bit like a marksman. You know how you just try and calm down and everything just slow it all down so that you can see it? That's the biggest problem you have taking a penalty in a Champions League final. And unfortunately, Gabriel couldn't see it and stuck it over the crossbar.
What was that feeling like for you when you missed that penalty?
Well, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to look. You don't want to look at him in the face, you want to look at the ground and keep your head down there and then start praying. Unfortunately for Gabriel, it's over. I was lucky. I was first. I missed mine first. There was still a chance that my teammates could dig me out, and they did. But for Gabriel, I mean, he doesn't want to look at him. You saw him afterwards. You know, everybody's coming up to him. And the strangest thing is, you don't want anybody near you. I can remember walking back myself, and I didn't want to look at anybody, and I had kept my head down, and I didn't want anybody coming and patting me in the back and saying it's okay and it's all right, because it's not. So unfortunately for Gabriel, he's probably still feeling the same way he did as when he missed it, because they lost.
And it's very unfair. It's very unfair because nobody's gonna be kind of critical towards Eze. Because when Eze missed, you know, Mendes missed just after, so okay, it cancels the missing and the miss, sorry, and that's not fair, because that's true. Gabriel will be the guy who missed that, and it's why Arsenal lost. And I feel sympathy. I love what Marquinhos did. They are the pair as centre backs for the World Cup. So, but he immediately came to Gabriel. Then Martinelli came, and that was great to bring some. You know, some good emotions towards Gabriel, because that's a nightmare. I had a chance to score many penalties, never had a risk that high, you know, because it's a Champions League final. But that must be horrible. What was your approach, Frank?
What was your approach when you were taking penalties then, even if it wasn't as big a game?
I was trying, and because sometimes they try to play games, and I was at the time that was like that for me, what is his name? Johan Niskens was saying the same to me one day when I met him, that he was closing his eyes and shoot strong. He didn't care. He knew where the net were and he didn't care. I was picking a side, and I tried to not change my mind according to the move of the goalkeeper, and kicking the ball strong on the floor, never high, because it's too difficult, and strong on the floor, it's quite impossible, and Xhaka maybe can witness me, to go down that quickly. The ball goes fast, so it's hard. That's the only thing you can say. You know that you have to score. You have more chance to score than the goalkeeper get it, and you be treated like a fool or stupid man if you miss it. So you have to score. You have no other choices. It's kind of a gamble, but it's true there are more chances to score than to miss it. So after that, it's especially when you don't hit the net, it's hard.
So speaking of a gamble, just 1 second, Jan, because while we're right here, speaking of a gamble, I want to get to Eze's missed penalty.
Into the other side. Why I thought Eze's penalty was disappointing, certainly when you look at Stefanov, he did exactly the same with Declan Rice, who just put it bottom corner, and Stefanov reacted, went the right way, but because he was waiting to see what Rice would do, any decently struck penalty would go into the back of the net. So there was that hint that this is what Rice that's what Stefanov is doing, that he's staying up, waiting for you to commit, and he's trying to react to that. So kind of given that, I thought Eze would have done a better job, certainly with his penalty, just get it on target. And to Frank's point, if the keeper is staying up for as long as he is, you almost don't have to hit it that hard. You just have to get it 2 or 3 yards to one side or the other, and it'll go in.
Go ahead, Jan.
No, I'm just thinking it was quite interesting with Stefanov yesterday. He played 120 minutes, and a penalty shootout, and he didn't make one save.
Yeah.
So he was just standing there. That was what he did. And I was laughing at him after the game because he was nearly standing there with smoking a cigar because he didn't have to use his gloves, and he was just standing there. But to your question, Kay, what does it mean for a player doing that in a penalty shootout? If you guys want to go back to 1982, West Germany is playing France in a legendary semi-final at the World Cup. And one of the first penalty takers for West Germany at that time was Uli Stielicke. He was the most experienced player, and he missed. He was crying. He was crying, and they had to comfort him and try to get him going again. And what Stevie was saying, he had players who could repair for him, which they did. The last decisive goal I can remember was Horst Rubic, who took the penalty for them. So going forward, there is nearly a rule. When you're going forward, it's nearly the best players who miss. It's nothing to do. You want to have a young kid going forward with no brain, no headache, and just go over there and just score that goal. Because I think as more and more experienced you are, the more you will think of the consequences. And the key thing yesterday was as well, although Luis Enrique did the same, but it was at the end decisive for Arsenal, that all the best penalty takers were sitting on the bench. So in a normal circumstances, Gabriel will be 8th or 9th choice for Arsenal taking that penalty. You have to respect him for saying, okay, I'll take that one. But still, this was not the best penalty shooter at Arsenal, far from it.
No, one thing we did see though was
they're going to see each other within a week with Brazil to fight for their country, and that's friendship is very important. There is a fight. You have to make sure that your color gonna win, but at the end you don't forget that you have a teammate of yours missing a big time shootout, and he's gonna again last for until the rest of his life. But you have to move forward and try to be competitive as soon as it's possible. And Marquinhos had the right move towards his young teammates, because Gabriel is a fantastic player. He proved yesterday that he's a great defender, and yeah, it's hard. He will take responsibility. He's going to be a big man, but it's always nice to see that, because again, it's only football.
Can I just say a couple of things here? First of all, Rice went after Eze in the penalty shootout. It was Gyökeres who was before Eze, but semantics. The thing that I find amazing with this, or really interesting from my perspective, because I've never been on that side of the ball in a penalty shootout, and a lot of the guys yesterday were saying the same thing, just leave me alone. As Stevie was saying, you missed, just leave me alone. I would have thought that's the worst thing, to just be left alone, nobody talk to you after you miss a penalty, certainly one of this magnitude. And again, I have never been in that position, I have never been that side of the ball, but I find that perspective incredible. So, I really do.
So ask the other two, is that normal? Because I understand both sides. If somebody else had missed the penalty that I did, I would have wanted to do this. I would have absolutely wanted to go and just, it's okay. But because it was me, I don't want anybody near me. I don't want him near me. Am I being normal? Would you two do the same?
Is the question,
well, that's a question we've all been asking ourselves.
I think there's two different questions here. Is Stevie normal? No. Is it normal what he's saying? It's another question. Now, I think that is very individual. I mean, we know the magnitude of this miss. I mean, Gabriel will have this in his mind for the rest of his life. And we can say it's only football. Yes, it's only football. Gabriel has just won the Premier League. They had a parade today. He was celebrated by a fantastic crowd in London. But still, I think it depends, Steve. It doesn't. I think it's fantastic what Marquinhos did, because I think that is important in football, that we show the friendship we have in the dressing room, and we also know when they meet up in 1 week time, the other boys will have a go at just bullying a bit, like that's doing joking. Yeah,
Gabriel, I can tell you exactly. I can tell you exactly.
Sorry,
Sorry, Frank.
Go, Stevie. Go.
I can tell you exactly. And how Gabriel gets over it again is very an individual thing. I had a chance to score a goal in the '86 World Cup. We needed to beat Uruguay to qualify for the second stages, and I missed the chance, or the goalie saved it. And every single time I go back to Scotland, I get reminded of that.
Yeah,
and people say, "Oh, you must lie awake at night thinking about it." Well, the truth is, I don't, and I don't mind it, because you have to understand that in football, at the professional level, at that elite level, there are going to be times when things don't go your way, and you have to be able to accept the bad and the good. And if Gabriel can accept the good and the bad, then he'll be fine with this. You know, everybody will remind him that he missed a penalty in the Champions League final, like I get reminded, but I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with it, A, because the boys dug me out, but the chance I missed for Scotland, I'm okay with it, because I understand that sometimes you get it with you and sometimes it goes against you. And once you get over that, it doesn't matter if people bring it up.
Right.
But that's because you're a winner, Stevie. But that's because you're a serial winner. Like what you're talking now is like a winning mentality. You are used to winning. You know that you do that all the time. That builds off your confidence. You know that when you risk things, that is maybe sometimes a consequence. I think it's harder for players who don't win a lot of titles that you did, Stevie, because as you talk now, and I say this as a compliment to you, this is how a serial winner talking, and I think that is the small margins between the winners and, I'm not saying losers, but those who don't win a lot.
Frank?
Yeah, just one thing. Even if I agree with Stevie, you know, after a while, you know, you're okay with that. You know, if you're a competitor, you're okay. But I'm pretty sure, and I can bet on that, last night Gabriel didn't sleep at all. He was thinking about it. He came back like, you know, when you make a mistake in your life, you say, why did I do that? Why did I drove and hit the other car? Why didn't do? It's like that. It's really hard to find pieces inside you, because you're still on fire and you still want to understand why you were capable of missing the net, which is quite almost impossible. And tonight, last night, maybe for like 5 days, he will have hard time to find a nice sleep, but he will vanish at some point and it would be okay. I remember making a bad pass to Ronaldinho, playing against Paris Saint-Germain with Marseille in a Classico, and Ronaldinho went to score. I couldn't sleep for like 3 nights, and then after, it's gone. It's my job, I take risks, and that's what it is.
Well, time moves on, and time is tight with the World Cup coming. Obviously, Arsenal won their first title in 2010.